couple of things. If you could kindly
Okay,
repeat.
we'll give you a few more. Do you want a few moments to get settled in?
Okay, I think we can get going. I'm good now.
Okay, okay. Yes, let's start off by just checking a few things here. Tell us about you. Who are you? And then we'll get into what you do and how you do what you do.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Fred. Originally from Ghana. Um I had my high school education from Sunyani Senior High School, which is in Sunyani, Bono region, and then I proceeded to University of Cape Coast, where I did my bachelor's, and then from there I had an opportunity to serve the good people of Bole Bamboy, specifically a small community called Tinga in the Bole Bamboy district, and then from right after the national service, that is where I had opportunity to move to Ohio University in the US. Did my first master's, moved to the second master's, and so what happens is that because I had opportunity to go through this process, when initially I thought that people from rich homes, people who probably have the best of grades, people who have to write GRE, people who have to have like a lot of money, were the people who had that opportunity to study abroad. So because of the challenges I went through when I wanted to do this, because of where I was, Bole Bamboy. When I talk about Bole Bamboy, it reminds me of the challenge in getting even internet access. Just like everybody knows, this whole study abroad process has to do with your ability to even get access to internet. So you are in a community where even cell phone connection is challenging, and for you to be able to sail through, um, you know, if you have to be closer to the city. So for me to find myself in Bole Bamboy in the middle of nowhere, that I was still able to do this, that's what motivated me to say that, okay, if I have been able to go through this process, considering the challenges, the impediments, and where I am from, then yeah, everybody can do it. The only thing is that they need the information practically on how they will be able to do it. And thanks be to God, over more than half a decade now, my team and I have had opportunity to impact, assist, and mentor like thousands of people to be able to get this done.
Wow, that's a beautiful story to tell. I mean, a kid from Sinyanet Senior High School goes to UGCC, goes to do national service. Bole Bamboy. Were you a teacher or were you in the office?
Yeah, I was a teacher, so I was posted to a primary school. The name of the school is Sumpoyiri RCGHS. Did you hear the name?
Wow.
Sumpoyiri.
Super.
Yeah. Sumpoyiri RCGHS. It's located in Tinga. So Bole Bamboy probably might be the biggest district in Ghana. It's from Bole to Bamboy is very far. People think like it's one city. No, it's so I was in the middle somewhere. So the community I'm talking about is called Tinga. And that was my first time going to the northern part of the country because I have
Okay.
lived all my life in the southern part, schooled all the way in UCC. And normally people would think that if somebody is being posted to, places like that, you
It's a
would
punishment.
exactly like you wouldn't want to go, or you would want to switch the posting, get to another place. But for some reason, I was happy to go there. The people were so helpful, even though teaching was a bit challenging because I speak Chi. Most of them do not understand or cannot speak Chi. The only medium is English,
It's
but
English.
yeah, and but they are also not too good with the English, so you understand. So, but yeah, it was a great place. I think that my most of the things, like my decision to probably study abroad, probably stemmed from some of the challenges I faced there, and then that pushed me to be able to get this done.
Wow. Wow. And then here we are today. So before we started, I was mentioning that back in the day, forget about the internet. You had to literally write a letter
Yeah.
and get a copy of the prospectus mailed to you. And then you had to send your application by post. And then, but anyway, That sounds like 20th century stuff. We're in the 21st century now, and things have moved. So you did say that you have a team. So I imagine when you started, it was just you. How big is your team now?
The team is huge, and I can confidently say that everybody is part of the team. So what happens is that, you know, if you want to go fast, do it alone. If you want to go far, get people. So I obviously I'm a student now, getting my PhD and all that. I have my scholarship, so I have like a lot of work to do. Schoolwork is intense, but yet, there are still somebody out there who is probably in Bole Bamboy looking up to somebody who has been through the study abroad process to be able to give them information on how to do it. So, to be able to have like 180,000 family members on YouTube, to have like 175 on TikTok, almost 50,000 on X, Instagram about 22,000. There are a lot of people who want to reach out to me, right? And so, for me to juggle my academics with all that I do and still to be able to respond to every single person, then I decided that, okay, I was doing the video shooting, scripting, editing, everything by myself. What if because I'm not the best editor in the world, you understand? What if I get somebody who can also edit the videos for me? Do you get it? What if I get somebody who can probably review some of the documents people send to me, for me? What if and there are some amazing people out there. You just have to show them that this is how things are done, and they will be able to do it. So I decided to get people on board who could probably handle the designs we put out, who could handle thumbnail designs, who could handle video editing. So yeah, so the team is still growing, and I invite anybody, if you want to be part of it. This is a whole movement that we are trying to push. That personally, I think that, for example, a lot of people who are international service and after national service, they struggle getting a job. If they make study abroad one of their options, not their only option, one of their options, I think that is going to reduce the unemployment rate in Ghana. What do you think, bro?
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, I am a believer that you should arm yourself with a lot of skills.
Right.
So go wherever you could find the skills.
Exactly.
What I don't think you should do is just sit at home, wake up, eat, watch TV, go waste time online and sleep. I think you should constantly, perhaps permanently, be finding ways to skill yourself up, because every skill will come in handy at this point or the other point. I mean, and today it is way easier to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, way back in the day, bro, to even make a phone call, to make a phone call to the UK, the cost of it alone was just enough to scare you away.
Right.
But here we are today. So you have gone into a bit of who you are and your story and part of your motivation. But that's where I really want the conversation to get started at.
Right.
What inspires you to want to do this for people? What is the why?
Right. So here's the thing. Personally, the process has changed my life. You're talking to somebody. I only got a passport after graduating from bachelor's degree, because for most of us, we don't have anybody somewhere who is going to support us in one way or the other.
Until somewhere.
You understand?
Somewhere.
So when I graduated from high school, I was raised by a single parent. Shout outs to my mom. She's in Brongahafo. I was raised by a single parent. So somebody that I didn't know took me through bachelor's degree for free. His name is Mr. Al Hassan. So you can imagine that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alhaji Al Hassan. So he didn't know me from anywhere. From one way or the other, something led to something, and then he got in touch. He was able to see my WASSCE results. I had no help because, single parent, stuff like that. And then he said that, he's going to take me through bachelor's degree for free. So you can imagine that you don't know this man, and he decides to help you And to be honest with you, when I went to bachelor's degree, through the my bachelor's degree, I did not need anything. I had to move from my parents' place to be with this man. He had an amazing home, and then that's where I started life from. Now I'm done with bachelor's degree. I'm doing national service. Somebody has supported you. Remember, he has a family. Somebody has supported you to go through bachelor's degree. You don't want to finish and then put a burden on him to get you a job or anything like that. Good. So, when I did my national service in Bole Bamboy, I was teaching. So during the vacation, I will write employment letters, come back to the South, distribute it so that after my national service, I could get a place.
You get somewhere.
Exactly. So vacation, I come down South, distribute the letters, no positive feedback and all that. Then I decided, okay, what could be the option? Now, when I was at University of Cape Coast, if anybody is listening to me in the school there, mostly when you are done with your bachelor's, they pick some of the students to be teaching assistants.
Teaching assistants. Yeah.
When I was in level 100, my teaching assistant, after the 1 year, I asked my economics teacher, like economics lecturer, where is the teaching assistant? He said that he has left to study abroad. Okay, that's cool. Level 200, and then the next teaching assistant came. The next year, we didn't see him again. We asked the lecturer. The lecturer said he has left to study abroad. Level 300, the same thing. Final year, the same thing. And I'm like, okay, so apart from getting a job, there's also an opportunity to study abroad when you are done with your bachelor's. I didn't become a TA. So that now became an option. So, Ghana Scholarship Secretariat applications, Chevening Scholarship, Hungary.com scholarship. We started applying whilst I started my national service in Bole Bamboy. So it was when.
Is that what we say? That's
Yeah. So the motivation was that after national service, I have been I wasn't working like every single day because I'm a teacher, and so there's vacation. So there's vacation. I use that time to start searching for a job even before my national service comes to a close. So now after national service, you've been applying for a job, you are not getting the place. It's a government job. They are not going to maintain you. So now what next? Are you going back to the man who took care of you through, a bachelor's degree to still stay with him and the parents to feed you? Exactly. So now, then I remembered one of my teaching assistants. His name is Isaac. God bless him. He has been so helpful. And I called him and I'm like, senior, you were my TA, this and this and that. And he was like, okay, this is what I did. And I came to study at this university. So I want you to do this and this. So he told me specifically, and that is the motivation, that I had information from somebody who told me what to do exactly to get this thing done. And that's why I said that, okay, then I will pass on this information. So he told me exactly what to do, to email the coordinator of the program, whatever. I should get a feedback and then I should start the application. So I decided to put together the 559 that I've been receiving. Now, the interesting thing is that if any of you know Bole Bamboy, Bandam Kwanta, Kapinta, Taselima, all the way to Tenga, you understand that for the entire district, the only bank as at the time was located in Bole. And sometimes, you have to, national service, they will not pay early. So, I have to travel from my community Tenga, and there's no lorry station. So I have to wait for the car coming from Techima. If somebody had alighted on the road, then I'll get on it and get to Bole. Sometimes you will pay the, what we call lorry fare or transportation to get to Bole, and they tell you the e-switch network is not working. Yes, and you have to pay and travel back. You understand? So, if this was not motivating enough, I wouldn't know what would be motivating. You understand? So there was a lot of push factors that influenced some of us to go through this process. And since we went through, even though it wasn't easy, it has been beneficial. I think that one of the things that improve people's quality of life is the ability to get higher education. And I'm talking about formal education. And for you to experience this higher education abroad is on a different level. When I got my visa, and now I needed money for flight ticket. And so I had people who supported me to do this. So what I did was that I wrote everybody's name down. And when I came, I decided to pay them back in dollars. However, most of them were my classmates who most of them had better, CGPA than I had. So what I told them is that instead of me giving you back this money as I earn them, why don't I help you go through the process to also come here? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Now, my study group,
catching fish for people,
exactly,
teaching them how to fish.
Good. So I created a WhatsApp group, and then my study group members back in UCC who supported me, I decided that okay, I told them this is the way I did it, and this is how you can, because most of them I studied the same program with them, stuff like that. So I just wanted to support them to go through. As time goes on, the group became big on WhatsApp. However, my time was also small. I'm a student, I'm working, stuff like that. And so that is why I decided that okay, why don't I then create a YouTube channel, create content on YouTube so that people can all, instead of somebody asking me the same question, having to repeat myself multiple times. If the thing is on YouTube, everybody can go and watch it. So that it will save me time from talking to or having to repeat the same thing to everybody, all the time.
So at the heart of it, what I'm getting is you were helped by somebody.
Exactly.
And the main driver is you just want to help people. And so you are eager to provide people with the information so that they can make their own decisions.
Exactly.
Now, when it comes to, the journey you went through, the hard journey, the difficulties, the uncertainties, do you think there are a lot of people today who just want everything on a silver platter?
Yeah, like sometimes some people that you grew up with might think that they had better opportunities than you. So, if Okrawa Timaya there, they can do it. Understand? Mostly people think that because somebody they don't know what you've been through, they don't know your story, stuff like that. And some people feel like, oh, it's super easy since this person has been able to do it. If most people don't share their stories on how they get something done. If they are able to tell you the steps, the sleepless nights, the things they have to go through. A typical example like mine, the email I got that brought me here, I couldn't open that email when I was in Bole Bamboy because the network was terrible. So normally, if I want to open the email, I need to go to a hilly side where the network could be stable and I'll be able to read. So I had to travel to read the admission email I got from Ohio University. So if probably somebody was posted to Bole Bamboy, the people are not speaking your language. It's a different environment altogether. The heat over there, and all that. But I think that over there, that drive pushed me to do what I did. You may not be able to get things on a silver platter. People want that. It's not going to work. You need to put in the work and it's going to pay off.
Wow. So this is the motivation. This is the drive. So when it comes to the amount of research you have to do to obtain this information you give to people, do you now have institutions that work with you and say, hey, the Fred Effect, we have some information we think some prospective students would like to know. Would you help us get this information to other people? Do you have institutions now connecting with you?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question. Thank you so much for this one. Yeah, so obviously, once you become a household name or you build a social media following, at least we are more than 500,000 across all our social media platforms. So when it comes to the study abroad process, the household name has definitely the Fred Effect. So I remember there was a university, shout outs to them. They reached out, the vice president reached out and said that I made a video about them. So they are going to waive $100 application fee, and the name that they are going to use for the waiver code is the Fred Effect. I was so touched. This is a boy who from Bole Bamboy, if you want to apply to a university, normally you need a MasterCard, a Visa card, or whatever to pay application fee.
Yeah.
Because, in Ghana, if you have a MasterCard or Visa card, there is a monthly deduction.
Yeah.
My national service allowance is 559. Why should I go and take a MasterCard so that there will be monthly deduction? You understand? So I only applied to one school because that was how much I could afford to pay. Now, this is somebody who couldn't afford to pay an application fee to apply to a US institution. Now, I come to the country and a whole university is using my name to waive $100 application fee. You understand? So, there are several institutions that obviously reach out that, hey, some schools reach out to me that we want you to put this information out there for your people. So yeah, and I really appreciate them for doing that. So when the vice president reached out, I nearly cried because some time ago, I was struggling to get money to pay application fee. Now the Fred Effect name is going to waive like $100 application fee for people like myself back in Bole Bamboy, back in Ghana, so that they can apply to this school for free.
Wow.
Right.
So some of these partnerships are obviously coming upstream. They are growing. They are developing. Now, I want to speak to some of the ethics of it, because some people have raised, valid questions about brain drain and things like that.
Yeah.
Initially you said, look, if you finish your first degree, it's okay to look for a job. It's also okay to want to go elsewhere and learn further.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I know that very often, you can say you could see.
Right.
So then the brain drain thing comes in. What do you think of that?
That's a very good question. I love this one. Now listen, if anybody is listening to us, they should just try to cast in their mind the most popular, or maybe people that they think have made it in their field. So let's start. Our current president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he studied in Ukraine, Russia. Our vice president had her master's and then her PhD from Canada. The number of people I can mention that schooled abroad, Honorable Baumia, he also schooled in the UK, he schooled in Canada, he taught in the US, in Texas. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo schooled in the UK. So all the most endless. So guess what did these people do? They came back, and then you could see the impact. Almost every successful person you have had opportunity to know, see, or hear about have had some experience or exposure to the outside world. It's a global village. There are lots of things that we are open to when you get opportunity to study abroad. So what happens is that most of us are going to get exposed to the outside world so that we can better our personal lives, the lives of our family, and then the nation at large. So most of the ministers, mention any minister and I'll practically tell you which institutions he studied in abroad. Go and take the list of the appointees of the current president, and they will tell you where they had the education from. So you understand? So when it comes to the issue of brain drain, stuff like that, we cannot control like what everybody should do when they have the opportunity to study abroad. But you and I are a testament that most of the resourceful individuals currently in affairs or in the country had opportunity to be exposed to the outside education or outside world, and they are using that to benefit our country at the moment.
Now, I just think that today, unlike in the past, that argument is weaker.
Right.
Because you can be abroad and easily send money to do a lot of things in Ghana for you today.
Right.
So your physical absence doesn't mean you cannot contribute to the economic welfare or to the economic activities in Ghana. So,
and to quickly add to that, the amount of money that the entire country borrow from IMF, whatever, if we put together the remittances from all these countries, it is bigger than that. Can you imagine?
You are right. According to a World Bank document, remittances for every $1 in direct capital, direct foreign investment, Ghanaians and indeed people who remit money remit $4.
Right.
So for every $1 in foreign direct investment, immigrants remit $4 to their country. So then, financially, the effect is significant. But we also acknowledge that the physical presence of people and so on is also a powerful thing. But
right.
It is not a complete loss as it looked like in the past. Okay, that is really, really good. So the Fred effect. What are some of the top 3 queries that people send to you nowadays? What are, if you group them, what would be your top 3 queries that people ask? Will it be, where should I go and study? Scholarships? What are sort of the top 3 things people ask you about?
I like this question. The first one is, please send me schools that will offer me scholarship. Yeah, send me schools that will offer.
Before we continue, why do we like easy work like that? Why do we want somebody to make all the food and then we open our mouth and then they put it inside our mouth? Why do we like it like that?
I am a higher education personnel, right? So for me, I am a bit patient when I get these questions, and of course, you are the one they would direct these questions. So I think that people do not have the information, and that's why we provide we have the platform to, or have the experience to be able to share. So I am okay with. I think that there's nothing like a stupid question. I feel like people have to ask, and so maybe they don't know how to communicate it very well. You expect that they do some. No. So I appreciate whatever question anybody asks me, and I feel like probably some years ago, if I were in their shoes, I would have asked maybe the same question. Probably I might have asked a question to my senior who thought it was stupid. You understand? So I think that, the opportunity to still, explain how some of these things work, for people to understand that, oh, it doesn't really work like the way they are questioning or they are thinking. That's absolutely fine. So I feel, yeah, there's nothing like a stupid question. People should ask whatever they feel they want to ask, and we, being in a position to have the knowledge, the information, the experience to go through, should be relaxed, should be patient, and be able to explain to our people that, oh, this is how it works.
Okay, I think that is a very polite, friendly answer, folks. Thank you for joining us. We are having a chat with the Fred Effect, talking about his journey, where he is now, what motivates.
So I'm live on an interview.
To do what he's doing. Now,
on Twitter.
Fred Effect, what sort of things frustrate you? I know, given your journey you've taken and your eagerness to pay back, you are just eager to help people. But surely you're a human being, and 1 or 2 things must frustrate you. So what kind of things frustrate you in what you do?
The first one is to see somebody who finds himself where I found myself, and not being able to help that person. So this year, my story, one of them is that I had my visa and did not have money for flight ticket. So people were able to support me, right? So every year, my team connects with some, influential individuals, rich people, and then we are able to generate some funds to be able to support people who reach out to us that, hey, Fred, I have my visa. I don't have money for flight ticket. And so every year we're able to support people. Unfortunately, we are not able to meet all the demands that come into our inbox. And that is very frustrating to me, that now, because I don't mind, spending the last dime I have to be able to pay for somebody's flight ticket. The reason is because I have been there, bro. I got my visa like a whole month. By 1st July, I had my visa. But, I had to, wait until somewhere August 8th, August 10th before I could, fly out of Ghana. I was practically holding my visa. So if you see my first visa, it's a little bit dirty because I was going from one person to another. You see, at a normal circumstance, if you get your visa or passport and you want to travel, you don't have to be showing it to people. You understand? But I had no option. I had my scholarship letter printed out, and so I had printed a lot of them because a white paper, people hold it, it becomes dirty. I need to change it. So I was practically going from one person to another, asking any amount they could support me so that I could buy my flight ticket. So I am very frustrated when somebody reach out to me that, yo, this is my visa, bro. I'm going to this school. This is my scholarship. And people will send you all the document. But I unfortunately, I do not have the resources to assist. So sometimes, when we have opportunity to assist, like this year, we're able to do like 10 to 20 people. And then, we sorted them, but yet there were some coming in that we couldn't support. Sometimes some people will reach out that they need help, to pay for maybe service fee, to pay for this. And I feel like within me, if I am able to support such an individual, bro, they will become great. The other time, some people that we had opportunity to assist like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, they graduate and they send me their pictures, and I'm so happy, right? So it's a bit frustrating when you feel like you do not have the resources to be able to support some individuals who genuinely have very good results, but are not able to get what it takes to go through the process. So that frustrates me, bro.
Folks, very soon we would allow anyone who wants to ask questions or offer some comments the chance to do so. But before we do that, the Fred effect, there's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of kululu, there's a lot of fraud in this thing. Any of us who's been abroad for a while, sometimes you get an email from a family member who says, look, I've got this email, it is for sure, it is guaranteed, just give me the money. And so, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of misinformation and fraud. How do you deal with that?
So that, you see, here's the thing. I was listening to somebody called Danko. He's amazing. Maybe everybody should check him out. He was saying that if you decide not to put information out there, or maybe create a business, that you are contributing to bad business in the system. I'm going to repeat that. If you decide that you're not going to do something, and then things are going on. So, for example, there is misinformation, disinformation about this whole study abroad thing. You are from Bole Bamboy, you are from Ghana, you have been able to go through the process, get a first master's, get a second master's, have opportunity to assist people doing a PhD. If you decide that you are too busy to put our information out there to assist people, then those who do not know are going to scam people or probably disinform or misinform people. There are certain things.
You have a duty
exactly
to add good information out there.
Exactly.
Or else the bad information would dominate.
Let me give you a typical example. Shout outs to my brother. He's doing amazing. Koji Sheldon. There was this issue about the US visa being reduced to 3 months and all that. And he has a bigger platform. He put out information out there. What I did was to reach out and say that, bro, this is I've been through this process, but the information you put out there is not like that. I couldn't hear from him. So what I did was that, because I have the platform, I took my time to take the video and explain what was true about it and what was not true. Now I have the platform, I have the experience. This is my thing. Like, bro, imagine I'm doing my PhD in higher education. I'm practically studying this thing. You understand? So I took my time that I have done this for more than half a decade. So let me explain what the process is and how it is. So the point was that visa has been reduced to 3 months. So when you come and study, within the 3 months, whilst your colleagues are studying, you have to go back and apply for visa. But the thing was not like that. When you come in, you are surviving on your I-20. But maybe because he probably do not know what an I-20 even is. But I have studied in about 5 different schools, so I have about 5 of them. You understand? So I know what it is. There is another gentleman, I think Okateche Fifa. He also put out the same information about, this and that. So what I did was that I took the video and I decided to explain to people that, yo, this is how the whole thing is supposed to work. So my point is that there's no way people can stop people from putting out misinformation or stop people from listening to misinformation. You and I, who have been through the process, who know what it takes, should not just be behind our phones and insult people who are doing this or criticize them. What are you doing about it?
So if you just talk about the problem, do something about the problem.
Exactly. So if you have what it takes, you have been through a UK process, you know what the process is. Everybody practically have the world in their pocket. You have a phone, pick it, explain that in your experience, in your perspective, or based on what that is not the truth. And I was happy that people were able to acknowledge that, this is the Fred effect. He has been doing this for years. So what he's saying is rather what we are going to listen to.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, folks, you are now able to request a microphone and ask a question or make a comment as you wish. We just ask you to keep it short and keep it respectful and courteous. So the Fred effect, you and I know that in this industry, in this field, a lot changes very quickly.
Right.
The local politics and economics in these destination countries, they change very quickly. You've seen some of the protests going on in the UK. You've seen some of the changes that have happened with the US. You've seen changes that have happened in Canada. And a whole lot more of these are coming up the stream. So the question is, what do you do to keep your information updated as policies are also being changed?
So that's a very good question. The only static thing is change. If you look at my picture from Bole Bamboy and you look at my face now, it's not the same.
Things eating a lot more good food and exercising more and chilling and all the air conditioning and things.
Exactly. I remember that few months ago I put out a video when people were expressing frustration on not getting an interview date back in Ghana. And so I made a video that, you can go to another country, you can even and stuff like that. And now there is an update that you have to schedule in your home country and all that. So that is why some of us are having the platform to continue to explain. And I think that when things change, they change for the best. For example, initially during my time, visa application fee used to be $160. Now it's $185. When people pay for the visa application fee, they were able to only schedule 2 times. Now you can schedule like 5 times. So when things change, they change for the best. The US portal, which is the US Travel Docs portal that I use to schedule my appointment from Bole Bamboy, now it has changed to Avid's portal. So things change and they change for the best. People are trying to modify, improve, and continue to sort of look at a better way of doing things, right? So if you want to do this process, we can tell you how we did it, but you need to understand that things are not the same. It is changing, and so that's why we continue to have the opportunity to inform and educate people on how things work.
Now, I also see that at the end of your videos, you put in a disclaimer that is for educational purposes only, and all of those important legal reminders. Have you considered obtaining one of these official licenses so that you can actually be a licensed practitioner and offer information? Or do you just, at the moment, given how busy you are, you just want to provide information, invite people to follow up, and then just put a disclaimer on your videos?
Yeah, that is a good question. I think you have to work on TV or radio or something, So what happens? What happens is that this whole thing started from a WhatsApp platform or just a WhatsApp message with my study group members. Now it has developed into what we are doing now. I started on a phone, now I have a camera, and so we have a lot of things in place. I started only on YouTube. Now we expanded to all the social media platforms. We have a weekly podcast. So we have a long-term plan, and we are executing them, from time to time. And initially, when the whole thing rested on the shoulders of somebody who is also juggling academics with, a broad life, now there's a whole team we are trying to build. So yeah, it's something that we have in the pipeline that we are working on.
Okay. Well, I had some speakers, but they have fallen off. I don't know why, but they have fallen off. So we will continue the conversation.
Yeah.
One of your most popular videos, you know the one I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
So how were you able to secure that guest, and what came out after that?
So you asked me if organizations reach out to be able to put out information. Yeah. So this is a team of ex-visa officers, and they reach out that, hey, we see the amazing work you're doing, we see the influence you have. People actually go through this entire process. Unfortunately, the last part of it, which is the visa interview, they fall off because they are unable to prepare, stuff like that. So imagine that most of us, probably maybe my first time talking to a white man could be doing the visa interview, right? Yeah. So sometimes, and we grow up to behave in a certain way, when that kind of vibe, but they have a different culture.
Because I'm now the young chica.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe a first degree I say, oh baby,
What does it?
Second degree only be. But yet the thing I say,
yeah,
we can come back to English now. But
it will be interesting, says I mean, you're more casa behind the scenes, and yen same yan every time I call camera. So Obi enya PhD or kwa study, but visa officer maybe your interview on only master's grad. I'm serious. Obi kwa PhD. Nipa na or interview no visa no be man ni. So they reached out and they were like, I would have wished that, you see, most of the things I do. So like when I'm making a video, I put myself in that boy somewhere in Tinga. And like, what were the things I would have wished somebody had done, told me, or maybe information. So when they reached out, I was like, when I was in Boy, I couldn't have like a good preparation for my visa interview. If I had gotten an opportunity for visa officer now, interview me no. For me to speak to such a person to say, Charlie, namo kraya mo ye mo niema saying. Say na mo didn't na mo de visa na mo obi amumfa mo obi, right? Why like niema be na mo share. So when they reach out, I have a lot of institutions reach out for advert stuff like that, but they don't align with what I do. You understand? So when they reached out, I was like, yo, in Boy, if I had gotten an opportunity to talk to an ex-visa officer, just for them to tell me that, and so I was like, my people would love to hear that, how do you guys do this? Who even qualifies to be a visa officer? Why don't you even give the visa to some people? So that was how it came about, that let's get it done. And then amazingly, we currently about 1.4 million on that video, and it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Okay, we have some folks here, so let me start with the good, able God, do good. You welcome to the space. What question or comment do you have to make?
Mr. Fred, once again, God bless you for whatever you are doing. It's an honor to be on here. Please, last year, I got denied a visa. And honestly, I don't know where to start from again. Please help me. Thank you.
All right. So to have that confidence to go through the entire process up to the visa interview, kudos. I'm happy that at least you tried something out. The unfortunate thing is that it's life. Not everything that we do will go 100% perfect as we planned it. So I'm happy that at least you've learned something, you've gone through the experience. What I would suggest we do is that we sit down and analyze what went wrong. Was it how I prepared? Was it the university I chose? Was it that the funding was not enough? What can I do better so that in the next time I'll get approved? The good thing is that 4 spring semester academic applications have already begun. So you can onyema hwegua and who the will be we should just sit down, analyze the whole thing we went through, and then appreciate that we probably did something wrong, and so where should we correct it to be able to try the next time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I also want to remind people that a lot of the time in our Ghana setting, we grow up with a culture or mindset that once you have failed in something, you are a permanent failure.
Yeah.
Or once you have succeeded in something, you are a permanent success.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind people that no condition is permanent. They write it on the top trusts and taxes. And it is really true. Success is not permanent. Failure is not permanent either. So let's bear that in mind. But thank you, Do Good. We will next go to Mr. Santi before I go to my good friend Joe Biden. So, Mr. Santi, let's hear your comments, please.
Hello, good evening, guys.
Good evening. Go ahead.
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Fred for all the good that he has been doing. I completed UCC in 2022, and after national service, I tried finding jobs and all that, but it became a challenge. So I was just going through YouTube, and I chanced upon one of Mr. Fred's video of searching for schools, writing emails to the program coordinators and all that. Luckily, this month, I got admission to study Masters of Science in Data Analytics at Utah State University.
Nice. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. I spoke with the program coordinator, and he told me that I qualified for $300 to $4,000 scholarship, and I asked for any a teaching assistant position, and he said, unless I'm able to register for the courses and I start the program before it will be to their analytical solution center, then I will be considered for TA position. Now, the school Uber engagements have written me email to submit some document for I-20. And I'm facing challenge because I don't know. I don't have any funding. They have not given me any fund because they are saying unless I register for the courses before. So I want maybe I should apply for Empower loan or something for the first year. Then I use it to process the document for the I-20 and for the.
All right. We applied for the Empower loan.
I did it today, so it's in review. I was thinking about. I didn't know whether. Like I'm confused.
Don't be confused. Don't be confused.
Mr. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah. So, bro. First of all, congrats. You graduated from UCC. That's my alma mater too. Don't tell me you're a custodian. Are you a custodian?
No, I'm a premier.
If you're a custodian, like I'll not answer your question because I make you. Anyway, that's just by the way. But congrats on being able to secure an admission. That's amazing, bro. So, which semester is this admission for? Spring or fall?
For 2026.
Oh, okay. Now here's the thing.
They gave me the admission earlier. They said I have up until 15th April 2026 to either accept or reject. But I just accepted it.
Awesome.
So you have a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah. Congrats on the admission. The first thing is that, most universities, and this applied to the first university I came to, my admission automatically came with a scholarship, but not every university have such a thing. So what it means is that the department has made it clear that you need to be on campus to be able to secure the scholarship. I appreciate that you have taken steps with Empower and stuff like that. So these are my suggestions. One, there are some other scholarships outside your department that you can apply for. So in my second university, for example, I was studying MPA, but I was working with a different department, which is non-academic in the school. So check out if the university has an employment website. Sometimes it could be Handshake, it could be a different university website where they advertise all the assistantships outside your department. Now, what you're saying is that your department says you need to get in. How about outside the department? You could get other scholarships that, like what I did for my second master's, in order to get a scholarship there whilst you're waiting for the approval for the Empower loan. And the next thing is that 2026 fall semester, you have admission. And I'm happy to hear this. If you are listening to us and you're here to apply, people already have admissions for fall 2026. So the school is starting in August, but in September 2025, they already have admission. It's possible for you as well. So, bro, take your time, explore other universities as well. Do not put your eggs in one basket. But I need you to treat every single school as if that is the only school you're going to. So this one that you have, treat it as if that's the only university. Do everything that you want, and then you have backup plans as well.
And as we advise people, even as you get your money and things ready, also be careful about the things you say on social media, because if you watch that video of the visa officer, nowadays, a lot of the things you see on social media and so on, they could come back and bite you. So exercise some caution. It says free speech, but it also doesn't mean there are no consequences. So
please let me know if the sound is clear. Can you hear from the phone? Because I'm using my phone on Twitter and then. So.
Before Joe Biden asks his question, the Fred effect. You know this scholarship thing. Now, you and I know that one of the big reasons why international universities love international students is because international students pay more money than domestic students. So the big reason they want you is because you are going to help their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have seen situations where schools will tell you, oh, their school fees are $20,000 when everyone else is charging $15,000. They'll say, here's the $20,000, but guess what? We will give you $5,000 in scholarship. So suddenly you feel like, hey, this is $20,000 and I've already gotten $5,000. I'm only $15,000 short. Oh my goodness, I'm so close. Have you seen some of these tricks in your time? And why do you think institutions do that?
All right. So just like in any field, obviously, every field will compete for customers. So if you enter maybe a mall to buy things, there are different things you could lay hands on, probably the same package, but they have different ways of advertising or enticing you. Let's understand that, and like I said, I'm in the field of education. So, there are private institutions, there are public funded institutions, there are private non-profit, there are private for profit. So, there are several institutions and they technically hire, business minded people to attract students to their university. Now, while some universities would want to make money from international students, and it's understandable that international students pay more. Even if you're in UCC Legon, application fee for international applicants from Nigeria is not the same as local people, so it's the same thing. Some universities also would want resources or money in a different way. So, for example, if a university would have to probably go and pay somebody, to work for them full time, they would rather want to admit a student, give them a tuition waiver, and pay them, stipends so that they can do the same work that they would have paid somebody more to do. So you, as the customer, there are a lot of institutions available. There are a lot of universities. would you prefer to rather pay to a school or rather work in terms of getting experience whilst your tuition is being paid for? So there are several options. There are for-profit institutions, there are non-profit institutions, there are public-funded institutions, there are, other institutions that you want to apply. Which one do you think you want to, school in? And so that would be the choice for the applicant to decide that, am I going to fall in for the business-minded institutions that, are enticing me with some amount of scholarship, or I would want to trade my expertise in terms of research assistantship, in terms of teaching assistantship, in terms of graduate assistantship, so that the school would in turn offer me a tuition waiver and they will pay me stipends as well. So you decide.
Indeed. Okay. This is really good. All right. Joe Biden, I've kept you waiting for a while. Please go ahead. And the Fred effect, Joe Biden is a good friend of mine. So
awesome.
Here we go. Joe, go ahead.
I think Freddie doesn't know me very well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a privilege to have both Ghana Fella and Fred effect on the space. And I wish there are a lot of people here listening, because these two, I don't know, Ghana Fella shouldn't be questioning, he should be answering actually. But yeah, let me not come and say things I'm not supposed to be saying. But
yourself, or I'll take you to Jerusalem.
Don't do that. Hi, Mr. Will. So, the Fred effect, I just want to commend you on what you are doing. I've spoken to you before, like we've had interviews, I think twice before. And your story, I've listened to it, and honestly, it's really inspiring. I think few months ago, I have contacted you on WhatsApp asking you some few questions about the same application processes that I was doing as well. My question will go back to the initial statement you made about getting a visa sometimes and then not being able to get your flight tickets, where you have to come in to help other people, and it can be challenging sometimes, as you mentioned. Now, have you thought about reaching out to help, like seeking help from other institutions in that regard, i.e. the scholarship scheme or whatever in Ghana, showing them what you have, what you've been able to do so far? Now, there are students who apply and get admission and get the, and this question goes to you and Ghana Fella, or I'm not asking only you. So, because I know he's got some information, but is the scholarship scheme in Ghana able to come in if the students are able to, get scholarship or get admission in these schools in abroad? Can they come in to be able to, in any way, be able to support them, if not for the scholarship or any other thing that they need to be doing, but let's say their flight tickets, some things that can just get them there? Is it possible? Is there channels like that can be looked at, or no?
Ghana Fella, you want to come in?
No, I wonder.
Okay, so you see, some of these schemes have a process you need to go through, which is very bureaucratic, right? And so you are looking at somebody who has, like, especially this time where the visa is like 3 months, the person needs it within a week or two in order to leave. The process to get some of these schemes are very long, bureaucratic. You might end up not being successful and all that. But yeah, I think it's a good initiative. That why don't we reach out to the bosses in charge of some of these schemes, tell them what we already hold or what we have done and how they will be able to help. So I think it's something we can consider doing as well. So I really appreciate that.
Great. Last thing about what you just said. If because of the processes that are involved may delay, that is why I'm suggesting that maybe you could go to them now, or whenever
you're ready for the subsequent years to come, so that there can be something like that. We shouldn't have to wait until we get somebody who have gotten school admission before we go. But there's a system like that is there. So, okay, you need how much? Okay, let me quickly call and let these people know that we have somebody on board who is coming, and then this amount of whatever they need, and then they supply, so that it can be a bit smooth. Because you paying people's flights, considering you are in school as well, doing other things, helping other people, and having to. We all know how tickets are expensive these days, So you having to do this out of your own coffers, I feel like it's a lot.
It is. I
are going to the wrong people. If the government scholarship one way or the other are going to wrong people who are already privileged, and these people we are just struggling, and we've been able to attain to get admission, and even these little ones will also take us years to get. Then I think it's also something we really need to pay attention.
Then I feel like this one the disclaimer. I don't know if the scholarship are going to the wrong people. That way I don't have any idea about that.
You get into trouble. I understand the sentiment, but here's the thing. The journey to study abroad is a personal one. It's a personal one. You are driven, you are motivated, you are investing in yourself. It is the same as going to university in Ghana. It is a decision that you make and you say, I'm going to put in this investment for me and make the most out of it. It's not everybody who goes and studies abroad who makes something of their life. So there are people you meet in Abuja and you know clearly this person would have been better off in Ghana. But if you go to Ghana today, people will say, hey, nobody over Abuja now. They will not understand some of these things. So, I'm glad there are financing options today. Is there no advertising for them or anything? You can also, if you have family and friends, when the Fred Effect was talking, talk about friends. Now, here's the thing. A lot of us, the only time we contact our friends is when we are in trouble. You should contact your friend. Keep that relationship active and alive. If there's somebody you know abroad, send them, happy birthday, happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day. Just keep that relationship alive. Don't wait until one day you need help and then suddenly you flash them, call me back. So, no. Keep that relationship alive so that it doesn't look like you are an opportunist. You only come to the person when you need them. Don't do that. Okay. I have Agbani. Agbani, go ahead with your question, please.
Hi, Gadafila. Good evening. Good evening to the Fred Effect. It's nice to meet you guys today. I've been trying to come up here. It's been a hassle for me. I don't know if you can confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. So I know, Fred, you are a huge fan of scholarships and graduate assistantships for intending prospective students, right? I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are on private universities in the country where you currently reside now in the US. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think you stand a chance to eventually be able to access a study visa, considering it's a private university as compared to when you go for a public university? Thank you.
Interestingly, so here's the thing. People, we should all understand that, the way things are or how higher education institutions are in our country is a bit different from outside the world. Guess what? The biggest, universities in the world are all private institutions. So Harvard is private. All the Ivy Leagues are private. Just imagine. So let me come back to my sister. What do you think? Like somebody gaining an admission to, so let's take a typical example. If somebody gains admission to Harvard, let me throw the question back to you. What do you think? You can unmute your microphone. So
that's a huge
Exactly. So all the private institutions, are very well-known universities, especially in the US. So in terms of admission and a scholarship, it is easier for you to, there are different categories of private institutions. We have private for-profit institutions. A private individual has established their university, they've invested money, they want to recoup. If that is the university you want to attend, that's absolutely fine. There are private non-profit. There are even private institutions that are owned by philanthropists, churches, and all that. So it depends on that category of university you're applying to. That would determine whether they give scholarships or they don't. And the good thing about applying to institutions in the US is that you are able to know the scholarships you will get even before you apply, if you ask them. So in terms of visa interview, once you have an I-20, you have an equal chance of getting the visa approved, whether it's a private institution, public institutions, whatever. And probably because of the prestige of private institutions, I would say that it's even, you have a higher chances if the university is known to be able to get your visa comparatively. However, in terms of you deciding to apply to a school, it would depend on your preference. I always tell people that tailor the study abroad process to suit your preference. So so if there's a private institution, they said application fee is $150. Or bole bamboy 559 in 150 a patch say untimisa obano on. So private institutions are great. It depends on your preference and what you want out of these institutions that you want to apply to.
Absolutely. And even as you talk about matching your means to the options available, it's important to know that, where you go and study matters.
Yeah.
What you study matters. But how you personally get changed, how you personally chase opportunities is the single biggest difference maker. There are people who would sit there and there are opportunities staring at them in their face and they will still not see it. And there are others, all they just need is one door to open and they will make so much out of it. And many of us, because of where we are coming from, we make more out of, I went to this school, I went to that school. The school themselves doesn't make you the person you are. It is what you do with the opportunities that you come across. It is what you do. It's what you do personally. Maybe you went into that school. Some guest speaker was coming to speak to a faculty or to a group of students, and you thought, let me go in there and listen to that guest speaker. And afterwards, you said, hey, I like the things you said. I'm really interested in this particular thing. I'm working. The person says, here are my details. Contact me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Let's take it from there. That's how the opportunity opens. If you think that there will be a big opportunity with a big announcement with your name on it, it is highly unlikely. And if you listen to how the Fred Effect has explained his story, his journey, you will see it's about developing yourself, taking advantage of small opportunities and making something big out of them. All right, we will now have Kofi. Kofi, you haven't spoken yet. Please, and thank you, Agbani, for your comment. Kofi, go ahead. Let's have your question or your comment, please.
Okay, thank you guys for this opportunity. I secured for 2025 admission, paid for my service, but I couldn't attend the visa interview. But the school is willing to admit me for spring 2026. Can I still utilize my paid for service fees?
Yeah, that's a good question. Congrats on your admission, bro. So service fee payment lasts for a year. And so if you paid it less than a year ago, obviously you can, if it's the same school, the only thing is that you have to monitor whether the service ID number is going to change or not. If it changes, you need to go through what we call service fee payment transfer, where you can transfer to the new service ID number. But if you paid it over a year ago, then you just have to understand that the payment only lasts for a year.
All right, there you go. Well, congratulations on your admission. Congratulations. And folks, as you work on, I think the Fred Effect mentioned this in some of his videos. Look, even as you are working on your admission, they say don't put all your eggs in one basket. You are working on developing yourself. There are so many apps that allow you to develop yourself. If you are planning to come and teach abroad, Charlie, watch some videos about like how people teach. Work on your accent a little bit. Work on your jokes and your stories a little bit. It's a whole different audience.
Yeah.
You want to hit the ground running, not hit the ground walking. Because if you come and you are a teacher in front of people, and Charlie, your work is not up to standard, Charlie, they let you know.
Yeah.
They will. The feedback will be so strong, you may run away. And even as you wait, do some preparation, do some homework, watch some videos, watch some YouTube, like learn how to talk to people, learn how to make people enjoy what you are presenting to them, learn the art and craft of public speaking, learn how to stand out. I asked the Fred Effect what makes him stand out. And he mentioned a number of things that makes him stand out. So that is, something that I would highly recommend to everyone going through the process. Fred Effect, please add any additional comments you want to.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity that you've given me and the platform. I think this is what we should do often, that we should collaborate among ourselves. This is something that we are all doing, that the little we can do to help our brothers and sisters who do not have an idea how we were able to get to where we are, and then the process we've been through. So yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity, and on any day we can be doing this often, responding to people's questions, so that we also contribute in our way to stop the misinformation and the disinformation that goes out.
Really good. Okay. God girl, welcome to the space. You have a question, a comment, or both? Go right ahead.
Hi, good evening. So, Fred Effect, thank you very much for today. You have been very helpful. I've been watching your videos for more than 2 years now. And then finally, I want to start my school application journey.
Okay.
But then, due to the recent updates with the Trump government, I don't know, I'm a bit skeptical, but I have a few questions. I want to know the updates concerning STEM OPTs. That's it, after your master's, are you allowed to work? Or right after you're done, then you're asking you to go back to your home country? And then I would also want to know the course. Most of the
is it okay if I take it one at a time?
Yes, that's fine.
I appreciate the consistency to stay with the platform for more than 2 years. That's great. So the first thing is that whenever you want to do something, there's always going to be a challenge. There's nobody who has done something and didn't go through a challenge. So what you have to understand is that if you are supposed to study abroad on a scholarship, it's not going to be easy. There will be a challenge. Whatever challenge it will be, yours is to sail through what you're going through. So to answer your question specifically, as I speak with you now, if you graduate from a university today and your program is a STEM, you have an opportunity to work a year and an extension of 2 years, which is 3 years. If it's a non-STEM, it's a year. Nothing has happened to it, and so at the moment, that's what it stands.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. And then lastly, so then that means my second question will be needed, because the program is less than 1.5 years. So I was thinking, what if I'm done and then I have, because I recently heard there's an update where students have only 30 days to leave the country after studies. So I was thinking, if that happens, then that means all my tuition and everything I'm paying will go to this. If I have to come back to Ghana because of the salaries and then how things go on here.
No, like my brother said, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. At the moment as we speak, there is nothing like that. If you, all my friends who recently graduated, and in fact, if people are going to graduate at the end of December, they will still have an opportunity, if their program is a STEM program, to be able to apply for the OPT, get approved, and then start working as well.
Okay, thank you. Please, I have a follow-up question. I'll be done soon.
Right.
So I want to ask if, for instance, your tuition is, let's say, $20,000, and then your statement, let's say you have a sponsor, and then the bank statement of the sponsor too is, let's say, $21,000, and then you present the statement to the officer that, oh, this person said he sponsor me. He's not a family member though. He's just my sponsor. And then you show it to the consular that, oh, this person said you sponsor me, but then this person's money is 21,000, and then your tuition is 20,000. Is it going to affect the visa interview or the visa being granted in any way, or is just by maybe some favor or some breeze? Because I don't know, I don't get it.
What's your name, my sister?
God girl.
I am. Yeah, mommy.
Yeah, that's a very spiritual question. I like that. Anyway, so what happens is that let's start from here. If you're now starting the process, you shouldn't aim at bank statement, loan stuff like that. You should aim at getting everything paid for by the school, and it's possible. This Saturday I had a lady on. She's also a lady, and her scholarship was like what, $47,000 or $57,000, and everything was paid for by the school. No bank statement was required. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it. She shared her experience, her school, her program, everything. These are some information that are available that you can learn from. The second thing is that when it comes to financial statement in the US, the institution you are going to determines what kind of statement that they require. So if your tuition is like 20,000, you present 20,000 bank statement. The school, they don't care. They will take it, and then they will issue your form I-20. However, you would have to understand that one, when going for your interview, there's no guarantee that the visa officer is even going to look at your bank statement. Most people, their bank statements are not checked. So if it is 21,000, and you have to understand that in terms of the visa interview, you should have a little bit above your cost of attendance. If your program is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, the I-20 only captures cost of attendance for a year. So if you're saying that my sponsor has only maybe 1 cedi, my cost of attendance is 1 cedi, then in terms of interview, it wouldn't make sense. But the school, they don't care. They are going to release your I-20. So you have to think through and understand that, how am I going to, so you having that 21,000 does not necessarily mean the visa officer is going to deny you. It doesn't even necessarily mean they are going to even look at the statement in the first place. So one, if they don't look at it, they wouldn't know the amount you have. Two, you would have to understand that if my program is 2 years, then it wouldn't make sense for me to have exactly the amount for that covered for a year. It will be advisable that you have a little bit. Some people say that maybe 25% above your cost of attendance and all that. So basically, that is how it works.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate your questions. And when it comes to the visa thing, the bank statement is one of the things that are considered, but it's not the only thing.
Yeah.
There are people with good-looking bank statements who do not get their student visas, and there are people with relatively less functional bank statements who get their student visas. So it's not really like if you have this guaranteed. Hey, Charlie, I've seen people with insane opponents in bank account.
Yeah.
So it's not really like guaranteed like that. And the Fred effect, no, can say, oh, wait here for sure. And I say, wait here, Emma. So like you do your best preparation, and then you go in there and put in your best effort, and then we see how it goes. But thank you so much for coming up. Mr. Will, go ahead. How are you doing?
Hi, Fela. I'm doing good. I just wanted to share my own experience because you are Fela, since you have wonderful people here listening. Maybe my experience can inspire someone. Is that okay?
That is okay. The Fred effect is here, and the Fred effect, Mr. Will is this troublemaker I know who is in Deutschland at the moment. So
awesome.
He's going to tell us his story.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Will.
Nice to meet you, the Fred effect. With my experience though, so I think I studied here in Germany, so I can speak to that. study abroad experience, you make it your own. Yeah, it's your own experience, your own journey. You would have to be proactive to do certain things, certain jobs. So I got here. Studying was for free, of course. However, before you come, you see, in the US, I'm hearing you guys mention things like setting up a statement. You need to have a bank statement of like 20,000, 30,000. For Germany, the amount is set. Okay, it is 12,000 euros as at this year. When I left in 2021, it was 10,532 or something. It was 10. I put 10,500 euros. I had 10,500 euros in that account. It wasn't mine. I borrowed money. I don't know. If I had that money, I don't think I would have been looking at the chances to study abroad. But I didn't have that money. Okay, so I borrowed, just like most people do. Eventually, you come back. All that money is still there. You really have to just give it back to the people who gave it to you. And you can, in Germany, when studying, you can work 20 hours a week. You can work as much as you want. Actually, though, okay, in Germany, when you are studying, the law, you can look this up. Student visa, before it was 120 working days, now it is 140 working days. And if a week is 5 working days, in a month you have 4 weeks, okay, give or take. That's 20 working days per month. This is 7 months of working full time. This is impossible if you have school, like you have studies to do. So basically, people just work any free time they get, because for the most part, you even have, you will still have extra days left over from your 140 days. And it's quite interesting how the days are calculated. So if you miraculously, like I did, you know, it was not an easy journey the entire time, but if you work a Friday day shift and get a second job and do a Friday night shift, rest and do a Saturday afternoon shift, and I clock 25 hours in 2 days, it will be calculated as 2 days. Yeah, I worked 25 hours, but those were the hard times. So the fun part though, okay, I also won a scholarship. So after I got to Germany, I came from nowhere. I was able to appeal for funds, get a proof of funds, and the German visa is the easiest to get. Honestly speaking, now that there are other visa categories where, like the transfer card, where Germany is just letting people in who are not, you don't need to have a job offer, you don't also need to be coming to study. There's something called the transfer card, the opportunity card. You can look it up. It's a point-based system. If you are under 35 years, you have a university degree, you get a point. If you there's 4 criteria and then there's 6 points in total. It's quite easy. It's like Canada Express entry, but you don't need university admission or a job. Germany has opened its doors, and for people who come here to study, the doors are wide because we cost them. I don't know, the Western democracy benefits from it. So, for example, I came to study for free. I've completed my studies now, and now I'm paying over 1,500 euros in taxes every single month. So now the state is benefiting from it.
It's an investment in you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Will, for this important contribution here. We will begin slowly to wrap things up. But before we do so, Isaac, Kofi Amoah, what do you have for us? A question, a comment, or something else? Okay. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I greet you, J.H. Fila. I greet you. I think my background resonates perfectly with Freddie Fred. So I take inspirations from him through the study up process. I think the first time that I tried, I think that was last year, for 2025. I think I watched his videos and his inspiration that got me partial funding from Illinois Tech University. I think right after getting, I was around 26,000 plus. I think I sent that to him through his Instagram account. Yeah. But I think from my background, I thought it twice that better opportunities will come. So I didn't focus much on. But right after that opportunity, anytime that I apply to a different school, I don't get funding. I get admission. Fortunately for me, I get admission, but I don't get funding. So what I'm asking is that what should I do? Differently, because I completed University of Cape Coast, and I engaged myself in numerous political activities. But unfortunately for me, my CGPA is not good. It's around 2.7. So what should I do differently?
But if you are getting the admission, and those who gave you the funding, did you end up attending that? Was it Illinois, you said? Did you end up going there?
No. Because I thought the funding was not enough to...
You thought it wasn't full bread, so you didn't take the half a loaf.
The issue was that I wanted to fall on Empower, but looking at the money involvement, I decided to relax and try Canada.
But why didn't you take the half loaf? Anyway, the Fred effect, you hear him clearly. What would you say? Okay, the Fred effect will come and talk to you shortly. But bro, you got half a loaf or 3/4 of a loaf, and you said it was and now you are not even getting a slice. Lala, why do you play games like this?
All right. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, Lana, go ahead, Fred.
All right, bro. So I'm happy that in the first place you were able to overcome the fact that I don't have a good CGPA, so I wouldn't be able to get admission, even a scholarship. Now, this clearly shows that, even with a second class lower, people are able to get admission, they were able to get scholarship. Now, I think I shared that university because they were, I think, waiving application fee, and I knew that it came with some sort of scholarship that I shared with people. Before I come to the half a loaf thing, first of all, it's good that one, you are able to try something out and know that, oh, my results are even capable of securing me something. If you are able to get admission, then you can also get a scholarship. But how you go about the application is what you have to change it. So first of all, you need to talk to the school you are applying to. Share your credentials with them, transcript, CV, ask if you can go ahead and apply, ask if you'll be considered for admission, if you'll be considered for scholarship. When I was in Bole Bamboy, even though my TA said that he is in that school, but before I apply, I should reach out to the coordinator of the program because his credentials are different from mine, obviously. So what you have to do differently is that with any school that you want to apply to, please talk to the coordinator of the program. If the department have scholarships available, they will let you know. If they don't, they will let you know. So not every, even in the same university, different departments might be having different scholarships. So in my first school, my department was paying approximately 800 and something every 2 weeks, but different department like chemistry were getting like $1,000 and all that. So figure out if the department has scholarships, not to apply, finish with it, and then you become disappointed that I didn't get scholarship. The second thing, with most,
thank you very much.
Please relax. With most universities you gain admission to, they may not necessarily automatically come with a scholarship. My first university automatically came with a scholarship. My second university took like a month before I got a scholarship letter. For some universities, after you gain the admission, you need to reach out to the same coordinator. Ask that, do you have to submit a separate application to be considered for for the scholarship? Is there, would you be automatically be considered? If so, when should you wait for the scholarship letter? Is there an interview? My current scholarship that I had, I am on now. I had to attend 2 different interviews. First interview was scheduled, second one was scheduled. So if there is a separate process for you to go through to get the scholarship, then they will let you know after you have gained the admission. My second university, because I was going to work for a different department, I applied separately. My department said they don't have the scholarship, so I should, go to the university's website and apply. So for some schools, if you tell me specifically what the school is, I can walk you through the process or how their scholarship process works so that you can do that. Now you don't have to be disappointed if you get admission without a scholarship. There is always a process to follow, and that should be fine. With a 2.7 CGPA, my suggestion from UCCA would be that if you're able to evaluate your transcript, you might be able to push above 3.0. Then you apply to institutions that require transcript evaluation. If you have like 3.0 evaluated, you have a higher chance of getting into some of these schools that will give you a good scholarship. And everybody should understand that not everybody will get a full scholarship before they leave. For some people, they would start with no scholarship at all. It is when they get into the university that they will be able to get a scholarship. Some
And when they have seen your academic performance.
Exactly. And for some, it will be partial. Half a loaf is better than none. Utegana, why nama usasikano for scholarship? And especially to a school that you didn't even pay anything to apply. Chairman judge you. But chairman say, Sikanisa. Anyway.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
Hello, can I?
We want to. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Okay. So currently I have CU Denver admission for spring, but before applying to CU Denver, I spoke with the program coordinator. I scheduled interview with her. And the assurance was, because I asked every question that needs to ask about opportunities, and she assured me. But after the admission came, nothing of that sort. Funding came. I again proceeded on asking her whether there are separate procedure for me to go through to get funding. But she told me that initially. She wanted to, help me with some few support, but upon the, faculty, they declined. So that is what I'm currently facing now.
So that is why we don't put our eggs in one basket. And so, assuming that you had gotten these promises from like 3 different institutions, do you think all of them would have ended this way? No.
No.
Yeah, so we don't put our eggs in one basket. So if a university promises you,
I'm still applying. So
yeah.
But I'll look at the West evaluation too, because although funds are not, but I'll try my possible best to get funds to do the West evaluation to apply for other schools as well. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. It looks like you have a decent idea what to do, and good luck, and I hope things work out perfectly for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having the Fred Effect here, and we've had some really good conversation items. And at this point, the Fred Effect, do you want to summarize and let's wrap things up here for us, please?
Now, what we have to let people know is that studying abroad is possible. Initially, we all thought that people from rich families and then people with first class are the only people who can study abroad. Now, we understand that if you are even from Bole Bamboy, it is possible. Even after graduating from your bachelor's degree, you don't have a passport yet. It is highly possible. Not all of us can get first class. Not all of us. All of us wish to get A throughout after our WASI. It doesn't work like that for all of us. Everybody have a separate, a different journey. And whatever your circumstances, you need to figure out the school that would admit somebody with first class may not admit you because you have a third class. But there's a school for everyone, right? So you have to tailor your study abroad process to suit your current situation. If you have a lower CGPA, you are listening to us. Some people graduate because their CGPA they think their CGPA is not good. Listen, universities abroad do not only admit you based on your CGPA alone. If you're a human being and you have one finger cut off, it doesn't make you less of a human being. So other application documents are considered when they are offering these admissions. So push through, get to talk to, listen to, and seek suggestions from people who have been through your process. Of course, there are always somebody out there who is going to discourage you. You know what you want, you know what you want to do, and it is possible you can actually do it. We all have different journey, and we all have different processes we have to go through to achieve what we want to achieve. So it is highly possible you can do it. If you're listening to us, you feel you're too old. There is nothing like my classmates. Everybody is married and they have kids. So if you have kids, you're married, it doesn't make this process out of your league. You can also do it. It is highly possible. I would forever and would always encourage people to pursue higher education abroad. It has been proven that higher education improves people's quality of life. And so if you want your life to be quality, this is one of the ways you can do it, to obtain higher education. And it is great if you have opportunity to seek for it outside your home country. Bro, I really appreciate your time and thank you so much. I think we should do this some other time again.
All right. Well then, folks, sorry to one or two folks who requested really late. Sorry, but we're just wrapping up here. It's been an hour and 40 minutes with the Fred Effect. So many wonderful insights, lots of quality conversations. And yes, please check out the Fred Effect on all your socials, Twitter or X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So much information on YouTube, so much quality information. And yes, he would be the first to tell you it's not a qualified person to be giving you career guidance and so on. It's for general purposes only. And, it's not for any special advice for you. So bear that in mind. But he's talking about his experiences and what he's seen, what he's heard. And he's doing this because he's been a beneficiary of the kindness of a lot of other people. So folks, good luck in your journey. And wherever you go, let your light shine so people would know you come from a wonderful place and you make your parents proud, make your community proud. Joe Biden, what do you really want to say?
I want to let the people know that if you are not following Ghana Filler, then you'll be missing out on such conversations and more to come. So please follow him because he's been having spaces secretly. I am telling you guys, so please follow him so that when the spaces are on, you'll be able to see it and then come quickly and listen to me. This is not the first time he's holding spaces like this. There are better ones. He's very, very knowledgeable. So please follow him. DM him if you need answers to certain things.
The Fred Effect. You see what happens when Joe Biden goes group. Anyway, Charlie, follow the Fred Effect. He's got great content out there. He's like, bro, your patience there. I'm not sure. But
Ghana, yes, talking about his patience, I think I have experienced it because a couple of months ago, I messaged him on WhatsApp and he wasn't responding fast because I'm very impatient. So I was like, hey, this month do I have to call him or something, right? Thinking he has forgotten, but he eventually came back and responded to everything I asked him, and then it was really, really useful. So I think he's really doing well with what he's doing.
Very, very well. We are not being paid, and you are offering this, you are being this kind. And you get people who are, rude and who think you owe them anything. There's a saying in Abrochi that you get what you pay for. Somebody's giving you quality information, you're not paying for it. Now, anyway, overall, folks, it was a real pleasure. The Fred Effect, for sure. Let's do this another time. And let's do some really cool things also along the way. But folks, it's been a real pleasure. I want to thank every one of you for coming. The Fred Effect, you get the final word.
I need everybody to be positive and understand that everything will be fine. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but it will certainly happen. Just keep on working on something and be positive. Everything will be fine.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana Fela.